Carrie.
I'm Jeannine.
And we are the Idea Ladies here in downtown Langley at the Passionate Home. Live every Friday here at 9:30, except for next Friday.
So far, we have nothing scheduled. This may be our last one for a little bit.
It may be. Candace is here behind the camera.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you're there, please say good morning. We're going to say, I don't want to say that this is our last official Idea Ladies, but it's definitely the last scheduled one. If I can talk this girl into maybe doing things later, or, if there's some famous television network that wants to hire us.
Right? I think that's possible.
So we're here in Langley at the Passionate Home. This is our last day. We have been in business for 17 years.
Yeah.
17. You've been with the Passionate Home for...
I think 7. This is going into my 7th year.
7 years.
Wow.
And this is our last day. So why don't you put the coffee
Let's get rid of this.
and let's celebrate.
We need something
So
better.
we're so happy you're here to celebrate with us. We're going to change things up a little bit this morning. Usually we have a scheduled what we're going to talk about.
We were like, what should we talk about today? And you had interviewed myself, and you had interviewed Candace, and we're like, what can we talk about? We haven't interviewed you yet.
It's time.
I think it's time.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I want to know what's going on.
Well, good thing we're drinking. So,
There you go.
cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Jeannine.
Oh, I gave myself more.
Well, there's more in the bottle. I'm thinking about all the times we've had champagne. New Year's, Christmas Eve, all sorts of things. And now this is not our last champagne
Today.
Mike says Mrs. Private, yeah. Oops.
So this is live. Jeannine suggested that she interview me today. I have no idea what's coming. Well, I'm fully prepared. So for the next about 20 minutes, it's all about me. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Just kidding.
Maybe just start with yourself, your family. Who are you?
For those of you who haven't been following for 17 years, my name is Carrie. Created the Passionate Home 17 years ago. I am a mother, wife, entrepreneur, woman.
How old are your kids?
I have 2 kids. Laurel is 26 and Max is 24.
Right.
Yes.
Where did you go to school?
Oh my goodness. So I grew up actually in Crescent Heights, which is kind of the Crescent Park area.
Right. So you're a local girl.
I'm a local girl. Went to White Rock Junior and Semi, so that's where I grew up in Crescent Park area.
Yeah, and you you met Mike quite a long time ago. You did a little post about him yesterday. That was really sweet.
Okay. So Mike and I met, I think the year I graduated or the year after I had graduated.
Wow.
And
basically high school sweetheart.
well, I didn't actually know him. I went to school with his younger brother.
Oh.
And his cousin. I used to joke, okay, I don't know who's watching this, but I always say to Mike, I kissed your brother before I kissed you. So there's something you didn't know. But yeah, Mike and I, we have been together for 35 years.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny because the 3 of us, we've all been married for a really long time.
Yeah.
And have our families, and I think that's really cool.
It is.
I love that we're,
Well, and my parents just celebrated 60 years.
Yeah.
So there's such a, I won't get into that. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Well, what did you do before the Passionate Home? I know you did daycare, right?
Yeah, okay, so I was in the food service industry in sales for many years. I worked for Neptune Foods for probably 13 years, and then I had my kids, and I just couldn't balance having a job full-time and being a great parent. So I said, I didn't have kids so somebody else could bring them up. So I decided to stay home. And I remember this day because Mike's like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, well, I'm going to take care of other kids. And I had no idea if I actually liked other kids. But I tried it, and I ended up having 7 kids every day for quite a few years. And I saw my kids, I did daycare right into Max going to preschool.
Nice,
So
yeah.
we moved from Walnut Grove to Alder Grove, and that's when I stopped doing daycare. And that's kind of where the whole Passion at Home began, actually.
Some toll
One of my daycare moms brought me a little table and said, "Can you paint this for my daughter?" And it was that creation of her table that really sparked creativity. I had always loved to decorate. I mean, honestly, I was stealing stuff from my mom's living room to decorate my bedroom when I was little. So it's always been in me. People go, "Are you a professional interior decorator?" And I'm like, not really, but it was in me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have lots of friends on. I'm just going to break in for a second here. We've got Danny. We've turning on Wi-Fi. Oh, interesting. So we are having apparently some difficulties because Evelyn's saying that, and we just got a location accuracy. Turning on Wi-Fi will improve location accuracy.
Oh, well, we turned off Wi-Fi, so
I'm just
that's fine.
gonna,
Nobody needs to know where we are.
There you go. John and Joanne are watching.
Oh, good morning. I
Yeah.
can't wait to come see you at the farmhouse market.
Yes,
Today's
it's
our
so
last day.
great.
I know, I'm gonna go.
Well, we're in the market.
Yeah, usually we're in the market.
Now we don't get to see everything first.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, but
Oh,
I
wow.
will be there, hopefully, with my daughter at opening, because I'm like, is she gonna get up? I don't know, but I'm going.
Kathy's watching. Christine.
Yay.
Go Hassan. Mike.
If you
Adrian.
have any questions for this lady?
Joanne. Yeah. Mike says it's good on his end, so
Awesome.
we're just gonna keep going.
All right. Okay, so you had quite a few locations in downtown lately. Just getting larger and larger.
Yes, we started across the street at the Old Country Mall with about 400 square feet.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a few months after that I kind of expanded into the behind area, which was like an empty room.
Oh.
And then from there we moved next door. It used to be a little jewelry store
Right.
next door. And then we moved across the street where Black Orchid is, and then we moved here.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 times the size of what we had.
I kind of remember a sort of a small location. It wasn't even really, I don't think, a store. You just kind of were selling some stuff out of there. Over in Milner.
Oh, in Milner. Yes.
I came and bought stuff from you from my store and resold it.
What?
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was too cheap.
Well, I actually remember I had a booth at the Cloverdale Antique Mall when Tim was running it in the far
wow.
corner.
Yeah.
And I believe from there, I thought, well, I'm going to see what retail is like. And I shared a space on the corner here of Milner across from Ken at Napier's there. What's it called? Wildflower or something?
Oh,
Does that ring a bell?
That does. Yeah.
And then from markets and stuff like that, it just grew.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been very successful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, when I sit and think about it all, you don't think about it when you're in it. You're just in it and you're surviving and you're thinking, what's next and what can I do better? And then when we don't take enough time to sit and look back at the accomplishments that we've done and the things that we've done. And certainly all the emails and letters that we're getting from our customers that say, like what you just said reminded me of one that came last night that said, you were the one who taught me how to paint, and from that one piece I created a business, and I just wanted to thank you. And so I'm at home going, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
No idea.
That's kind of what I was wondering, like any favorite standout moments, that kind of thing. Like, I mean, there's so many, so it's really, really hard. But,
Yeah. Well, in social media for this last couple of weeks, I've been highlighting some of the main moves that we've had and memories that I've never shared with people.
Yeah.
About the homeless person who walked by me that day.
Yeah.
If you're not reading, you can go back and read some of these little memories. I don't know if there's any one. There's so many.
I know,
After
it's
17
hard.
years, there's so many.
Yeah.
We've had, famous people here. We've had movies here. We've thought we were famous here. I think that one of the greatest greatest things about owning your own business is that you can come up with an idea and go, let's try it. I mean,
Right.
Jeannine and I sit down every week to talk about the newsletter and what's going to happen, and we're like, let's do this. Let's have cocktails and kimonos. That was my sister's idea. Doo Atlanta.
Yeah.
One of my faves.
What's that?
One of my
One
faves.
of your faves.
That's why I got hired. Yeah.
You know, let's hire a professional singer and put them outside and let's dance out in the patio, and we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Fun things.
so
Always
many
pushing
fun
me,
things.
that's for sure.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's good, because when I'm pushing you, it's like I'm pushing me but through you. It's always good to have somebody to do it with, right?
Okay, so you didn't always have Annie Sloan paint. How did that come about? Because that was a major thing for me.
Yeah. Well, before Annie Sloan, we used to use latex paint, right? We'd take a piece of furniture, we'd haul it outside, and we'd sand it, and we'd prime it, and a couple coats of latex, and just dress with razor blade. I mean, I've got so many memories of sitting in my backyard, and I had all my vintage finds staged around the yard. And I would take my little plastic seat, and I'd move from, I'd scrub it, and then I'd go and scrub it, and then I'd prime it, because, you know, I was off to a market, and my kids would be like, what's going on? Why is there chippy paint everywhere? And then I heard about Annie Sloan paint, no sanding, no priming. I'm like, no way. And I'm wondering where I heard it from first, maybe online, but it was only available in the States. And my sister lives there in the States, and I was visiting her, and we were at an outdoor market, and I saw a can of paint at the end of the road. This woman was painting an oak rocking chair, and I'm like, oh my God. And I ran to the end of the street, and my husband's coming along, like, what's going on? Like, you don't understand, this is Annie Sloan chalk paint. Yeah. And I brought home a can of Paris Grey. And I went on to Facebook, and I said to my, maybe 10 customers at the time, I have this amazing paint, I'm gonna let you know how it works. And I took it into my garage, and I had a buffet there, and I just painted a little bit on it and came back 20 minutes later and gave it a scratch, and I'm like, oh my God, changed my life forever, literally. And then that's how I ended up carrying it, as a lady was just bringing it into Canada at the time. And the other day I actually found a video. We were over in this location when my first order came. And it's funny because it was probably like 4 or 5 boxes of paint. And I'm like, here I am. I have my first thing of paint, and I'm putting it on the shelf, and you hear my mom. My mom's like the camera's shaking. And I'm like, okay, dear, go. Technically, I don't know. I'm not very technical, so I'm like, I didn't cut that part out. And now I think of the pallets of paint that we bought afterwards. It was incredible, and I feel so blessed to have had that opportunity and to connect with such an entrepreneurial woman, and to be able to share that product, who, as you know, guys, has reached so many people, created businesses, helped people through sicknesses. I mean, it is more than a paint in a can.
Yeah.
Well, somebody asked Candice and I yesterday, okay, so now that you're kind of done and everything's good, would you still use Annie Sloan? And I'm like,
yes.
Oh, I know, hands down, like, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss it.
I'm ready for a little more.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. How am I doing?
You're doing awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of comments. Let me just read a few while you take a breather. Hello from Kelly J. Hugs to all. What a wonderful part of our community. That is from Jenica. Pam.
Thank you.
I can't hear you, ladies, but we are definitely going to miss all of you. Best wishes, and I look forward to hearing what your future brings. So there's just lots of little comments coming through. People are just loving it and really appreciate you.
Yeah, I just turned it off. Okay, so what led to this life change? Like what? I think I know, but let's see. Don't say answer.
What led to this? As far back as I can think is when I went to New Zealand.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
because I work with you amazing girls, I had the opportunity to clock out and go to New Zealand, where my daughter has been living since COVID. What an incredible place if you've never been there.
Yeah.
And my husband and I just said, we're not going to be on social media. We're just going to be very present in the moment and just absorb the kids.
Yeah.
Let's see how they've been living, and let's kind of live the way they've been living. They've been living pretty good, let me say. We rented a Defender with 2 rooftop tents, and we drove on the beaches, and they took us to all the off-road places, and it really made me realize that there's a whole world out there of experiences. My daughter taught me to surf. I'm like, I thought, I can't believe I'm like, don't think about things you're scared of too much, otherwise you talk yourself out of it. But if I know if she wants to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to overthink it. And that whole experience showed me that there's a whole world out there that I want to experience. And there are some things I want to do before I'm unable to.
Yeah.
Right? We're not getting any younger.
We're not getting any younger. COVID has changed a lot of things for people. People are getting sick every day. You don't know what tomorrow brings. Today is definitely a present, and you have to live in that. And some of the things I'd like to do, I can't do with this responsibility. It's a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a ball and chain for sure. I mean, what a gift to be here for 17 years. And not everybody can say that they love going to work every day.
I can.
It's true. I get up and I'm dancing, and my husband's like, what is going on? I'm like, do you know what I get to do today? Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I just think that life is short. I'm 55 now. And back in the day, there was Freedom 55. Of course, there is no such thing anymore, I don't think. But, and I want to be able to experience these things. And I'm not going to do them if I stay in my safety net.
Right.
So I've pushed myself out. And it was just like something came over me that said, it's time.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, it's freaky. Yeah, I need a paycheck. I'm not retiring. R&R is retail retirement. Yes, I need a paycheck for sure. I have to do something. But this is going to force me. And it's like a second chance. Even though every new day is another chance, it's a second chance to do those things that I really want to do. I would love to live abroad. There's just some things that I'm like, okay, well, don't spoil it for yourself now. You've made this huge change and given up amazing things. Do these things, live and do the things that you actually want to do. Yeah. And I'm forcing you guys to do that same thing. I just had this little chat before we went live that it's so easy to stay in your comfort zone.
There's no excuses now.
There are no excuses.
Just trust your gut, and we're gonna do the next chapter.
Yeah. And I have to say, so many people have come in and shared their stories with us about retirement, about listening to your gut, about life being short, about changes that you guys have made. And there's been lots of tears, and we don't talk enough about these things, about life. And then all of a sudden it's over. Right. So it's actually all my daughter's fault.
Yeah.
Thanks, Laurel.
Okay, so what's next? What are you going to do tomorrow or next month or, as far as you know? Well, you've got a couple of things.
I do. As you know, my daughter's been living in New Zealand for a few years, and she is coming home on, October 6th for 5 weeks. She's making a move from New Zealand to Japan.
Wow. Yeah.
So, in 5 weeks, I'm going to dedicate to her and follow her around.
Yeah.
Surprise! Because, your kids, they grow and they move away and they have a life. And if I have this little pocket of time, I'm going to dedicate it to just spending time with her, right?
Yes.
And her partner, and getting to know him better, even though he lived with us for 3 months anyway. I don't know when that will happen again. Once they're in Japan, they're living their lives now.
Yeah.
And Mike and I need to live our lives.
Yeah.
And so, but for right now, the next 5 weeks are going to be dedicated to just hanging out with my kids.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to worry about work. I'm going to focus. I'm hoping that the universe will open up opportunities for all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. I would love for us to continue some sort of connection of helping people create a beautiful life. I know we all need a paycheck still, so I don't know exactly what that looks like. But like we've done so far about why not try it? Maybe we'll try something. So please stay connected with us through social media. We're going to let you know, what we're doing, and hopefully stay connected over the next 5 weeks, and then who knows what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a lot of sharing.
It was.
Nona says best wishes for your new adventures. Brianna says the big day.
I know. It is.
Yeah.
It's a big day, but it's not the end. It's a beginning.
Yes.
And we have to look at it that way, or we're going to just cry like the whole day. But we are here all day till 5 o'clock in our brick and mortar here in McBurney. We would love to see you if you'd like to come by. There are a few things still for sale.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of champagne to drink, and yeah, we're going to stay connected through social media now.
So, like all these videos, you'll still be able to find on YouTube. So the website is closing, so no more TPH TV, but they are on YouTube. So please subscribe. We're going to try to make more videos, but we'll definitely be on social media like Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yeah. A lot of you have shared ideas like, oh, you guys got to continue your thrift store challenge or whatever. And who knows? I don't know what will happen.
We'll have to just do little pop-ins and just surprise everyone.
We're all doing projects.
Yeah.
We'll share those with you. Like, I don't know, you want to see my husband and I fight? Then I'll put it up.
And I know Candace wants to continue teaching workshops. A lot of
Yeah.
people have asked about that. So do stay connected with us, because then we will tell you what's happening. And we love to hear from you as well. So, just thank you so much for supporting us
Yeah.
all these years and following us on our Friday videos. I mean, this was just a crazy idea we had one day. And actually, it was Krista, our marketing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Krista said, she did our marketing, for those of you who remember Krista. She said, in a perfect world, what would you guys do? And I said, well, Jeannine and I would have our own television network. Well, not network, but we have our own show, and it would be called The Idea Ladies, because we're so full of ideas. I know my husband's laughing. And share those ideas with people. And she goes, well, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
So, that's it. If you are pondering about something in your life, just make it happen. It might bomb. It might not.
Doesn't hurt to try.
Right? Sometimes we have nobody watching, and sometimes you just have no idea where it's going or how it's affecting people and how you can contribute to somebody else's life. So I just want to say thank you so much. And we're all going to continue to create a beautiful life, so you need to do that as well, because you are worth it. And cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.